Okay, hi again. So it's Sig. I am here again today to do another book review. This is gonna be February's book review. And I'm once again doing the, talking into the mic, filming with my face. We'll see if I put in any additives. I didn't put in any additives last time. Well, I meant to do more, and I did sprinkle a couple throughout, but they look very random cutaways, which I just got lazy and didn't feel like taking those out. Because originally I was gonna cover more of my face with, not necessarily vlog style things, but just, things that didn't necessarily have anything to do with what I was talking about. But whatever. I didn't mind seeing my face. I have my moving shirt on. This video is probably gonna come out before my next knit and chat, and probably at the end of February, which again is a very short month, so you guys are getting I'm putting out videos a little more quickly than I thought I would, unless this book stuff goes really well. Because if it does, if me just going off the cuff kind of feels good, like I'm dipping my toes into it with these book reviews, maybe I'll do more off the cuff videos. I don't even know what I would do off the cuff, because a lot of the times I don't know. But anyway, we're doing February book review. I'm halfway through 2 books, which might be a little weird. You might be like, hey, why are you reading 2 books at the same time? Theoretically, I'm reading 5 books at the same time. It's just what kind of catches my fancy. And I recently, I think just yesterday, purchased a new book. Because I was getting a celebratory coffee at Barnes & Noble, and I saw that Gideon the Ninth was on sale. And I've heard things from Tumblr that Gideon the Ninth is good, and I decided to pick it up, and I'll read that eventually. But I might be finishing a different book for February, technically. But again, I'll introduce Sorrowland a little more, but this book in particular I read while it was still January. I think I finished it January 31st. And this was originally going to be if I miss a month or something, I'll sub in Sorrowland. But I've decided to say Sorrowland is my February because I'm close to finishing 2 books. So I'm definitely going to have one for next month. Also, shout out to the 2 people who commented, both my RL friends, I love you guys, commenting that, me putting out my January video in February helped you guys remember that one of your goals is to read a book a month. And to anyone who watches this video, I encourage you to try to pick up a book every month. Even if you don't finish reading it, even if you just put in a little bit of effort, I still think that's cool. Putting effort, even a tiny bit, something is better than nothing. And I think when it comes to hobbies, it's important to keep up the momentum. I do a lot of knitting, as you all may know, and one of the great things that I enjoy about combining that with my video editing is that I can do, I can make sure that even if I'm knitting for the 25 minutes that I'm filming some B-roll footage, it's still 25 minutes that I'm spending on something I enjoy. I hope I'm not shaking the camera too much. I have a tiny bit better setup this time. And my mic isn't gonna die because I replaced the batteries. Thank you to anyone who's watched the January video. Hopefully you'll enjoy this video. Yeah, so let's just get into it. So I saw this book at a bookstore. It's called Sorrowland, a novel by Rivers Solomon. I'll probably do a good, close-up of the cover. I'll probably do a thing on the back. It's about, I would consider it regular pretty standard book size. It's specifically 355 pages. I read this book, I think, in about a week. I read this book and Last Days technically at the same time, just because I didn't think Last Days was going to have me that gripped, but it did. And Sorrowland was equally as gripping. Truly, I have nothing but good things to say about this book. I think it's an extremely interesting exploration of, you know, the main character Vern. And just so we're all on the same page, I'll read you the back. These book reviews are kind of going to be spoiler free, sort of, not devoid of spoilers, I would say, but just so we're all on the same page. Vern, 7 months pregnant and desperate to escape the strict religious compound where she was raised, flees for the shelter of the woods. There she gives birth to twins and plans to raise them far from the influence of the outside world. But even in the forest, Vern is a hunted woman. Forced to fight back against the community that refuses to let her go, she unleashes incredible brutality far beyond what a person should be capable of, her body racked by inexplicable and uncanny changes. To understand her metamorphosis and to protect her small family, Vern has to face the past, and more troublingly, the future, outside the woods. Finding the truth will mean uncovering not only the secrets of the compound she fled, but also the violent history of America that produced it. River Solomon's Sorrowland is a genre-bending work of Gothic fiction. Here, monsters aren't just individuals, but entire nations. This is a searing, seminal book that marks the arrival of a bold, unignorable voice in American fiction. And I totally agree with that last part. I haven't done any research on the author, but I definitely will probably check out more of what they got, if there is anything more, or even if there's anything upcoming, because this book was so immensely good, and there's a lot that I didn't predict, and it takes some really crazy turns. It starts off with her having fleed her, strict religious compound, and she gives birth in the woods to her twin boys. Well, her twin children. Something I really enjoyed about this book is there's a lot of emphasis, whether it was intentional or not. Well, I guess it was intentional. Something I really enjoyed about this book was the fact that the children of Vern very much are not raised within the gender binary. Like, I'm pretty sure, sometimes they're referred to as girls, sometimes they're referred to as boys. She refers to them, I think, as her boys. But they have, like, one of them's named Feral, the other's named Howling, and, there's a de-emphasis on their gender, which I thought was fantastic. And there's a lot of emphasis, like, the villain of the story is not one person, it's a big, the villain is America. And I thought that was really interesting, especially the way that it's handled with the fact that Vern is still capable of fighting this really horrible oppression and, targeted attacks. And, it's a huge page-turning thing. And it's very subtle in the Gothic horror. Well, I guess it's not necessarily a horror book. I would argue there's parts of it that are pretty horrific. And I do understand when it says genre-bending Gothic fiction, because this book is on some level a political thriller. It deals with religious themes. It deals a lot with, how quickly people are forced to grow up in certain situations, and how to deal with the grief we feel, and, there's a lot in this book that, you know, it's one of the things that I am arguing in my upcoming Knit and Chat video about Men 2022 is that, you know, the movie was good, but there's, you know, XYZ, I wanted to see more, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, the thing that I keep coming back to in that review is that, you know, obviously certain mediums, especially films, books, and that such, cannot tackle every single, you know, societal issue. It can't tackle, you know, everything. And, you know, that may be a bad thing, or it may be a good thing, but it is what it is, because, you know, you need to still have some type of plot, some type of narrative that's not going to, at the end of the day, bog everything down. But surprisingly, Sorrowland packs so much in between these 355 pages. Like, you know, it's such a great character study on Vern, but it's also such an interesting generational commentary as well. And, you know, Vern's transformation throughout the book is not only extraordinary in terms of, like, how she develops as a character, but also how she is affected by things outside of herself and how she takes that back. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. My cat's potentially gonna come sit in my lap. It's little Miss Luna. She's a very good girl. Luna, do you have anything to say about Sorrowland? No? Well, there you have it, folks. My cat, Luna, says the book was very good. There is truly nothing more I liked about this book. You know, this is definitely a book I'm keeping for my shelf. Which does say a lot. You know, I check books out of the library. I should do that more often, but I do try to do that, and, you know, I will admit, I am somebody who enjoys purchasing their books because, you know, it's nice to own things, and it's nice, to be able to just have complete control. Bless you. My cat's sneezing. It's good to have, like, a full bookshelf, in my opinion. But that does mean I don't keep every single book. This is definitely one that I want to keep around, because I'm definitely rereading this. I've actually already reread it one time through, before making this video. And I really think that's all I necessarily have to say about this book, because I don't want to spoil it, because I want to make sure, you know, like, if you want to watch these videos and then go read the book, that's one of the goals here. Plus, I'm trying to make these pretty quick, so the less I have to, like, really deep dive into it. Loved Vern, loved the character of Go-Go. Truly, I have nothing but praise for this book. I think the writing is fantastic. I think each character is really cool. The author does a lot of fun stuff with, you know, connecting these characters back to nature, and honestly just giving a big middle finger to capitalism, to America, which, rock on, we love that. And, you know, I just think that this book is very poignant, very good. I think the ending is extremely gut-wrenching, but also at the same time so hopeful, and that's what I love about this book too, is that the forces that Vern and her little family are up against are made out to be extremely, you know, powerful. They're in the positions of, like, political power, etc., and yet this book emphasizes that, like, hey, we're still able to fight against that. And I love the message of hope and of camaraderie, of found family. You know, there's queer representation in the book, which is so cool. And again, I love that the kids in this book don't really get like specific gendered, which we love. We love playing with that gender binary. We love saying that it really doesn't exist. Because at the end of the day, if we weren't conscious and sentient beings, we would just be in the woods doing our thing. I mean, truly, this is a really good book. If you're looking for anything to pick up and read, can't recommend Sorrowland enough. Sorrowland by River Solomon. I definitely need to check out this author and see if there's anything more they're going to be publishing. Because truly, great voice, great narrative. And I guess we're going to move to the portion where I give this a rating. Which I think everybody can see coming with the only praise that I've been able to say is I'm definitely giving Sorrowland a 5 out of 5 stars. Truly a fantastic book, fantastic read. And I do think for if anybody's like a pretty solid reader, this is a pretty quick read too. Like I said, I probably took like maybe a week to read it. Or maybe a little longer. I can't really tell. Well, I can't really remember, not can't really tell. But anywho, great book. And yeah, so I think that's all I have to say about Sorrowland. That's all I have to say about this February book review. So far, I'm enjoying making these. I'm enjoying sitting down in front of the camera. Even though I still feel a little weird about it, just because I don't know where to look, etc., etc. But these are easy to pop out, easy to edit. I've decided that I am going to be doing one for next month, so you'll at least have one more of these kind of videos to do. Let's see, what can you tell me about in the comments? I guess if you've read Sorrowland, let me know what you thought of it. If you feel inspired to read it, come back to this video and let me know your thoughts. Again, let's see, what genre would we say this is? Let's go we're just gonna go general fiction or gothic fiction. If you have any general fiction or gothic fiction recommendations, put in the comments below and maybe I'll check out that book. Yeah. I mean, you can tell me about anything in your comments. Tell me about your day in the comments. So, with that, I'd like to say thank you everyone for joining me. It always means so much to me when people take time out of their busy days to sit down and watch whatever video I've popped out for the day. Shout out to my subscribers. Love you guys. Shout out to anyone who watches these videos. I love you too. And shout out to anyone who likes the videos. That also means a lot to me. It means a lot to me that anyone would check out anything I make. And with that, I guess I will see you guys in the next video, whatever that may be. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And I hope that you guys, stay safe out there. And good luck.